You know that feeling, that deep desire for a kind of peace that the world just can't seem to offer? A security that doesn't just crumble with life's ups and downs. Well, today, we're going to dive into some really ancient wisdom. We're going to uncover these timeless paths that promise something incredible, not just freedom from fear, but a real profound connection to who we truly are.
I mean, it's a question that's been around forever, right? We spend so much time and energy trying to build our lives, trying to create this stable foundation with our jobs, our relationships. But let's be honest, the one constant in the world is change. And that can leave you with this background hum of anxiety. So when everything we're holding on to feels like it could disappear tomorrow, where do we find something that's truly unshakably secure? The ancient sages, they tell us to look inward. The answer isn't in what we build out there, but in what we discover in here. And right there, that's our first big insight. The path to real, lasting peace, it's not some single, narrow road that everyone has to walk down. No, it's more like this huge open landscape of possibilities. See, the ancient texts get it. They recognize that we're all wired differently. Some of us are thinkers, others are doers, and some of us, well, we're all about the heart. And the beautiful thing is, for each and every one of us, there's a path that fits.
All right, so let's explore that first path. It's the path of wisdom, and it's called Jnana Yoga. Now, this one's for the seeker who's really driven by their mind, who wants to find freedom by truly understanding the difference between what's real and what's just an illusion.
So, at the very heart of this path is this idea of the Atman. What is it? It's our immortal, eternal self. It's the absolute core of who we are, and it's totally separate from our physical body, our job title, or our personality. Think of it like this. It's the unchanging awareness that's just witnessing your life unfold. The scriptures give us this brilliant analogy. Just like we change our clothes every day, the Atman, the soul, moves from one body to the next.
This verse right here from the Bhagavad Gita, wow, it just perfectly captures the essence of this truth. It's telling us about our eternal nature. And think about it, if you can truly deeply grasp this, that the real you, your essential self, is beyond birth and death, that it can't be harmed, then the entire foundation of fear just starts to dissolve. I mean, really, what is there to be afraid of?
Okay, so that raises a pretty big question, right? If our true nature is fearless, why do we spend so much time being afraid? Well, the ancient texts have a name for this problem, Maya. It's described as this veil of illusion. Maya is the force that makes us forget who we really are. It makes us identify with all the temporary stuff, our bodies, our successes, our failures, and because all of that can be lost, that mistaken identity becomes the root cause of all our anxiety and fear. Okay, let's move on to the second path. This one is really for people who are active and engaged in the world. It's called Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action. And what's cool about this one is that it doesn't ask you to run away from life. Instead, it asks you to completely transform your approach to life.
And here you can see this really powerful contrast. On one side, you've got action with attachment. This is when you're doing things for personal gain, for praise, for a specific result. And that path, it's a total roller coaster of pleasure and pain, anxiety and relief. But on the other side, you have action without attachment. Now, the work might be exactly the same, but your inner attitude is completely different. You're doing it as a duty, maybe as an offering, and you're not obsessing over the results. That is the secret to finding peace right in the middle of all the chaos.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It makes the principle of karma yoga so clear. It's not about not acting, it's about cleaning up the intention behind what you do. The wise person is out there, engaged in the world, and probably doing a better job than most, but they're doing it with this sense of inner freedom. They're not weighed down by that constant need for things to turn out a certain way.
But what if you're not really a mind person or an action person? What if your whole world is guided by your heart? Well, for the emotionally inclined, there's a third path, Bhakti Yoga. This is the path to fearlessness that comes through devotion, through love, and through this deep, profound sense of surrender to a higher power.
And Bhakti Yoga isn't just some vague feeling, It's a real practice. Devotion gets expressed through actual, tangible things you can do, like chanting or praying or just dedicating everything you do as an offering. It's all about building and nurturing a deep, personal connection with the divine and making that the absolute center of your life.
And this, right here, is the ultimate promise of the path of devotion. It's really a journey of trust. The idea is that by surrendering your ego, By letting go of your fears and handing them over to a higher power, you open yourself up to receive something truly profound in return, a supreme peace, and a kind of security that you can't build on your own. It's a security that comes from grace.
So there we have it. We've looked at 3 really distinct paths: the path of wisdom, the path of action, and the path of devotion. And yeah, they might seem pretty different on the surface, but what's amazing is that they all lead to the exact same place.
It doesn't matter if you get there through your intellect, through selfless action, or through the devotion of your heart, the goal is exactly the same. It's all about rising above the constant push and pull of life. You know, the pleasure and pain, the success and failure, all the stuff that keeps us feeling so unstable. The whole point is to ground ourselves not in this temporary world, but in the eternal, unshakable reality of who we really are.
So in the end, this incredible ancient wisdom doesn't just hand us a bunch of answers. It actually leaves us with a question. It invites us to look inside ourselves and really ask, what's my primary driver? Is it my mind, my actions, my heart? Because just knowing your own nature, that's the very first step on the journey to becoming truly fearless. So I'll leave you with this. Which of these paths calls to you?